Coming off a successful tour as the opening act for The Who, Lynyrd Skynyrd was riding high.
And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, we were headliners and really enjoying it. It was a dream come true is what it was.
But a pattern of alcohol abuse and destructive behavior began to take over their lives.
Well, the women were just there. Same with the alcohol.
The drinking was crazy, but we just wake up the next morning and shake it off and go for it.
We'd sit in a hotel room, sit on the bed or sit on each other's bed and throw the beer in the back of the TV so you could blow the TV up first.
The pressures of being on the road and performing and recording, you know, started getting to the band, and of course they started partying and doing things to try to cope with it and deal with it.
While each of Lynyrd Skynyrd's LPs sold over 1 million copies, Sweet Home Alabama was their only top 10 single. The ode to Southern pride put the band on the map.
I can remember Alan Collins telling me, we just wrote a song called Sweet Home Alabama, and I swear to you, Ricky, it's a hit.
Sweet Home Alabama may have been a hit, but it was Freebird that would become the true rock and roll anthem.
If I leave this heart, would you still remember me?
Ronnie Van Zant talked about the song's significance in a rare interview filmed in 1975.
The lyric content of Freebird is based on the idea of you know, everybody being free. To me, there's nothing freer than a bird, you know, just flying wherever he wants to go. And I don't know, that's what this country's all about, you know, being free. And I think everybody wants to be a free bird.
'Cause I'm as free as I swear
A lot of songs are written fishing, or just, we write songs about real life and people and situations, and we just write them as we're living.
For the band, the journey from playing garages to sold-out arenas was a fairy tale. But being asked to open for the Rolling Stones in '76 was their wildest dream come true.
Little Georgia honky tonk.
We tried to blow their doors off.
I was studying the road down at a place called the Jug with a girl named Linda Lou.
I keep expecting to get a call from Mick Jagger because I say, you know, on camera that we blew the Rolling Stones off stage.
Roll me the breeze, I keep blowing down the road. Well, now they roll me the breeze, I keep blowing down the road.
While Lynyrd Skynyrd was reaching a professional peak, the band members' personal lives were spiraling downward. Drunken brawls were making headlines around the world.
There was that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde syndrome once the alcohol kicked in, and that goes for a lot of us. And those are the only times we ever got beat up. Now, all the other fights we won.
We literally were kicked out of every hotel in London.
They was up in this big suite and having a ball, drinking. And Leon Wilkerson, they done emptied a fifth of something. He was so happy he got carried away and taking that bottle and threw it through a big old plate glass window. And Ronnie said, son, you didn't do a good enough job. So he picked up the little TV off the stand and boom, threw it through the window. He said, nah, I really did a good job.
That should have been a lesson in itself for us way back then, but we laughed it off and thought it was funny the next day. Now I look back at it right now and it wasn't funny at all.
Live fast, die young, and leave a good-looking corpse, you know? I know that's morbid sounding, but that was a saying back then, you know?
I think they kind of felt like, well, this is rock and roll, this is how you're supposed to act.
Part of that act included alcohol-induced fights between band members, usually instigated by Ronnie Van Zant.
They hit me once, and just a lucky punch, I guess. He knocked my first 4 teeth out, my front 4 teeth, and so I had to have a 4-piece bridge built.
Ronnie was arrested several times.
He liked to get in trouble and cause trouble and fights, you know. He either would cause them or stop them or whatever. And yeah, that happened a lot.
He was once charged with assault and battery, but basically it was just a street fight. He got the best of somebody, so he was the one who did the assaulting.
But nobody would ever fight Ronnie back. They were scared to, because they knew they'd get really, really hurt.
He was a redneck, you know. When I met him, you know, I knew that he could get provoked easily and get in a fight. That was just part of him.
Lynyrd Skynyrd's violent behavior and alcohol abuse signaled a rough road ahead. On Labor Day weekend of 1976, both Alan Collins and Gary Rossington were seriously hurt in separate accidents. Both had been drinking.
Oh, I just, got drunk one night and peeled out.
Gary's accident was the inspiration for the song, That Smell.
Whiskey bottle, brand new car, oak tree you're in my way.
I got in a wreck. I hit an oak tree on a curb, and you know, I think I did some quaaludes, which is, you know, it says it in the song, and it's just a true story about what happened to a crazy guy, which was me one night.
We were getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's the bottom line.
It would take a small miracle to make Ronnie Van Zant realize the band needed to clean up its act. That miracle happened on September 19, 1976, when his wife Judy gave birth to their daughter Melody.
What's your name, little girl? What's your name? Shooting you straight, little girl, won't you do the same?
He felt like it was time to settle down and set examples and, you know, be a good father, and he couldn't do that and you know, have the reputation and be wild and crazy.
I think he, you know, felt like he wanted to be around to actually see her grow up.
Her birth changed him a lot, and he started, you know, taking better care of himself, quit drinking, and he just started taking good care of himself.
Melody's birth was the highlight of Ronnie's life. But behind his smile was a tormented man who seemed to always know his happiness would be short-lived.
He said to me many times, Daddy, I'll never reach 30 years old. I said, why are you talking this gunk? You'll never reach 30 years old. He said, Daddy, that's my limit.
Ronnie and I were in Tokyo, Japan, and Ronnie told me that he would never live to see 30, and that he was going to go out with his boots on, in other words, on the road. So, and of course, you know, in Tokyo, I said, Ronnie, don't talk like that. But the man knew his destiny.
Just ahead on Behind the Music, the fateful plane crash that killed a legend and devastated the world of rock and roll.
It felt like being in a solid steel garbage can, rolling down a hill, being hit with 100 baseball bats in the head.
And then surviving band members and family tried to make sense of the tragedy.
God was a jealous God. God taken him for reasons I don't